Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to be taking a look at a map called Dune Island, USA, which comes with a couple of cool extras. One of them is the license plates, so it works just like the stock maps, where when you're on this map, the license plates of the cars you spawn up will all say Dune Island on them. You could, of course, change it if you don't want them to say that after you spawn it up, but when you first spawn them up, they'll say that. There are also a handful of customized cars that you can choose from. So on the Sunburst, we have a DI Rally and Dune Island Cruiser version of the vehicle. On the D Series, we have a Dune Island Chase pickup. And then lastly, on the Roamer, we have a Dune Island Sheriff. And we'll start off with this one. This is basically a Sheriff version of the Roamer with a custom skin on it, and it does say Dune Island on it. And this is not the color I'm used to seeing on a Sheriff at all, like a green and yellow Sheriff. Like, is this a joke Sheriff? Because Sheriffs around me don't have that kind of color, but in Dune Island, why not? Green and yellow it is. So anyways, we're going to go and drive on the map some, and we're on one of the few straightaways on the map. There's basically two straightaways plus an airstrip. Rest of the map is more of the twisty, curvy kind of things, and one thing that's kind of fun to do is experience how thick the sand is. The sand on this map is so thick, you can get ridiculous things like that happening to you when you touch it. That was on much more of the ridiculous side. Usually it's not quite that ridiculous, but that's the epitome of just, this sand is crazy deep, and I can barely steer now. I want to just drive a little bit longer with this thing because it's still able to put the power down, so I want to respect the fact that it's trying by giving it a little bit more time to drive. And here's like the other straightaway. They're back to back. This one does have some vertical change compared to the first one. But after that, we're going to get to more of the twisty, curvy roads. I just want to get this thing through the straightaway and wreck it one more time, though, before we reset it. And up here, there's some boulders we could probably bash into. Oh, or we get more sand. I think the sand is even more grabby, by the way, when you have a pop tire versus a non-pop tire. Like that one right there, it just digs into the sand so hard. Anyways, just reset it like that, and we can easily drive out of here because we have a little bit of off-roading capabilities. You see there's a dirt road we could drive on over there, but we're not. We're going to stick to the paved road a little bit longer, since for the paved roads, all you've really seen is the straightaways. And you kind of want to avoid going to the sand because it is so grabby like that. Like, it's kind of like the sand in Forza, where it stops you from cutting those corners because you're going to go way slower trying to cut the corner most of the time than actually driving on the track. I mean, that's the only comparison I can really say about that sand, is it feels like Forza sand. So staying on the road, actually over here you can cut the corners a little bit since this isn't as grabby as the sand. You can, go like this and not have to worry about getting yanked and flipped over like the sand. And wow, that is bouncy though. I'm actually surprised I didn't end up rolling there. All right, enough of pretending. And it crashed. So I'm going to load the map up and try to go back to about where we were before it crashed. Here we are back around the spot where the game crashed. And I went ahead and restarted my computer just in case that was the cause somehow, although I really doubt it because everything else was running perfectly fine. And I had just turned it on a couple of hours prior to the game crashing. But it's a precautionary measure just in case. Anyways, we're now kind of in this little town area, which does have some straightaways, but they're not as long as the straightaways we were driving on earlier, so I really don't consider them part of the straightaways I was mentioning earlier. So just a little bit right here, and then if we lived at a lighthouse, we would have to turn right here and go towards our home, which is right at the end of this. We're going to try to fly towards the lighthouse, but there's no way we're going to get enough speed to actually land there. We could get somewhere near it, though, I bet. That got a little bit closer than I expected, to be honest. I knew I'd end up in the water eventually, but that got a lot closer before I ended up in the water. So I'll bring this back a bunch to about, there. And then we'll go ahead and cross that bridge you see just ahead. Kind of has an ugly entrance to it, though. You gotta go up this really rough terrain. The sheriff should really do something about that. That is a safety hazard as far as I'm concerned. Oh, wait, I'm the sheriff. Too bad I'm a useless sheriff who doesn't do nothing but drive around in circles all day. That's why everybody hates me. And then again, a little messy on the exit, and then we even got some mud to trudge through. And out of the mud. Again, another reason why I don't consider that a straightaway. You got mud in the middle of it. Yeah, the mud is straight, but still. Don't hit the stumps, because your car will get stuck. Slow it down, and then we'll go right here, and I'm going to go and swap out the vehicle in a second. So let's wreck it. And that didn't exactly go how I planned. I thought it would hit the stop sign, not go through it, but close enough. So we'll swap this out for the... Now, I was thinking about doing this one, but I don't think it'll work out because there's a little bit of off-roading. So let's do the D15 extended cab off-road instead. I promise I'll come back to that vehicle in a bit, but I wanted to use this one here as a better safe than sorry kind of approach because I'm not the kind of person who likes to be sorry. And if I got stuck because I wanted to use that vehicle too bad, then I would have to be sorry. And if I'm sorry, it means I made a mistake, and that is truly a mistake in judgment. So it's like, you know what? It gives you the exact same outcome, so why even bother? Just take the truck that's proven its capabilities and run it through the route, and it should have no issues whatsoever doing that. And you might be able to fit 2 cars side by side on some sections of this road. Like, a little bit ahead, there's actually an outcropping you can kind of park it on, and then you can have one car pass another one. So like right here, you could just say one of them goes out to like right here. The other one goes by, and then they got to drive back onto this without falling off, which is a little sketchy, but it can be done like that. And of course, you could have obviously drove farther out onto that part that stuck out, but I saw no reason to because I already demonstrated, hey, look, you can drive on it. What more do I need to demonstrate? And we're going to keep going until we get to the top here. It's not too much farther. Be careful right there. That one's a little tight and a little steep right here, but off-road version, no problem. And we could actually go and play in the mud right up there, but I don't feel like doing that. Instead, we're going to go to the top first, and maybe we'll play in the mud, maybe not. Haven't decided. But at the top, there is like a telescope dome where they have telescopes and they look at the sky and stuff. At least I think that's what that is. And it has that look to it, you know? It looks like them. As for the mud, nah. But we can do this. Worth it. Okay, get it upright and just keep on going. So we're going back, down the hill. And maybe we'll swap this out for the pickup that I was showing off a second ago in the menu. Once I get to the right area. And we're taking a little bit of a shortcut right here because I didn't feel like driving all the way back to the road. So right here we'll stop, swap it out for the Dune Island Chase pickup, which is a 4x4, so it does have some off-road capabilities. And I just wanted to, again, use the proven vehicle. It has a very similar style to the Roman we saw earlier and an identical color scheme to it. Once again, it does say Dune Island on it. And it is so overkill here. We don't even need to stay on the road if we wanted to. We can kind of drive all around the road and stuff, no problem. As long as we don't ram into a tree, which is actually pretty easy to do if you start driving too crazy and fast. But after cutting the corners like that a bit, it gets a little bit boring, so we'll try to stay on the road a little bit more now. Although, right here it is muddy. And this is one of those situations where having a truck versus a rally car will come to your benefit. Because a rally car will probably go a little bit slower through there and get more likely to be stuck. Right here we have a fork in the road. We're going to go to the right instead of straight. So I guess it's not really a fork then, is it? If it was the option of straight or right. But we're going right either way. And we're just going to drive along this road for a bit until we get to this little house I wanted to take a look at. So here is a little sign actually right there. I forgot about that sign. What does that sign say? The village of Clifton. Not welcome to, and population of 0. Interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen that sign before. I wonder if it was made for this map or if it's a normal asset I've just never noticed. I would have to assume I would have noticed it, right? Anyways, here's that little house. And you can continue driving along here, but that is not the direction I want to go. Instead, we're going to drive through the trees. And this is a little bit of a dumb thing to do, but I just wanted to kind of show you the density of the trees real quickly. Not too important, so that's why we're doing a real short path through there. And this is where we came from, right? So instead of going to the house, let's say we went the other direction, because that'll get us to the desert eventually. It's still a little bit away, but there's a desert area I wanted to take a look at. Right here, we gotta go through the trees once again, real carefully. Don't want to hit them. And ooh, truck got pulled a little bit to the right. Did not see that coming. Here's kind of like a desert area. All sand and stuff, and this truck is not doing so well. I don't know if it's the sand or if it's the truck from being hit, though. I think it's the sand, so I'm not going to bother resetting it. Hopefully I'm not making a mistake there. We'll know for certain once we're on the paved road in about 20 seconds or so. If that. So this is basically a solid road ride. Whoa! Doing a little stoppy even though I wasn't braking. Alright, so now we're on a more solid road we can very easily drive. Now I called that the desert area, but this is the true desert area, and this thing is not driving straight at all. Like I'm saying, go left. The truck's like, no, I don't want to go left, so we'll just reset it. Anyways, the true desert area where you got like dunes and stuff you could drive over. Are you kidding me? How do you even flip over there? That's more impressive than anything, isn't it? Like, how you even flip there? If you tried, you couldn't do it. If you're just driving through, you'll somehow find a way to accidentally flip. That's just the way things are. I was just going to drive through here for a little bit, though, because it's just an open area like this. Unfortunately, you can't go too fast because the sand is pretty thick. Even with a fully functional vehicle, we're topping out at about 30 miles per hour. Unless we're on a downhill like this and we can reach maybe 40. Not quite 40. Close. It's a big area, though. I mean, I'll zoom out a bit so you can kind of see how big it is. There you go. Nice big area of sand dunes. And I should probably get back onto a road soon. There should be one right here, though, according to the minimap. Try to go onto it carefully and gently, because I don't know exactly where it is. Somewhere around here. I'm going to find it. You go really slow through this grass section, too, because it's, again, thick terrain. On the other hand, it makes it hard to slide down it, I guess. I see a road eventually. We just got to be patient. Really patient, because this thing is going so slow. We are just inching towards that road. Okay, we're basically at the road. Oh, now it accelerates. Oh, see, I didn't think it would accelerate there. So yeah, that caught me off guard. My hand wasn't even on the controller to steer. Like I was just scratching my arm, and next thing you know, the truck lurches forward and crashed. Oh, thanks. As you see, we got a dead end up there. We can check out the dead end real quickly. Maybe have a little fun with it by flying. See, there's a lighthouse, though, and well, that's just about all of interest. Just a lighthouse. Trying to make sure you can see over to that edge. And then we go ahead and pull the truck back to before the jump. Back it up just a tad, and then go down this road. And this road will actually go through the desert section. So we can go fast through it. Okay. If you say you saw that coming, you're a dirty, dirty liar. Nobody could have saw that coming. Anyways, let's swap this out. Let's go with the Dune Island Rally version of the Sunburst. And we're going to go what looks like off the road, basically, because it's not on the minimap. But there is a road that'll take you through the desert area at a reasonable speed with a car like this. You just got to kind of stick to the part that looks a little bit more solid in texturing versus the dunes themselves, which look all sandy and stuff. If you do mess up, though, stoppy time. Right here is the easy part. Nice and straight, and gotta stop, gotta stop, gotta stop. Just in time. Perfect use of a rally car, I think. Going through the water. No issues for this car. And then we could actually go over to this little island if I don't want to ruin my front bumper on the mud and such. There we are, we're fine. We're totally fine. So this is like a one-way tunnel as far as I'm concerned. And we just have a small island right here. You can see how big it is by just looking at the mini-map. That oval, that's the island. I'll just drive around most of the roads on it, and then we'll pop back out. Whoa, slow it down. I don't know if it's quite steering right. That did not feel right at all. Right here, this is interesting. The water is like way on the road. Thankfully, this car somehow was able not to get water in the engine. That actually surprised me. As far as I know, the water is functional. Let's make sure. Yep, water's functional. Just had to make sure about it. If I reset a little bit more, I would have been a bit better lined up for that. And the camera made that deceptive. I got fooled. Oh, that ain't right. Tire deflated from going on a bridge. That shouldn't happen, so now it hasn't, thanks to the power of resetting the vehicle. And right here, let's go to the right and kind of stay near the water a bit so you can see the water. So pretty. Pretty good feeling for a rally right here. Whoa. Oh, that sand just got me. Both the sand and the mud on this map have a bad habit of grabbing you like that. And oh, that rear left tire is just terrible, and my front bumper is worse. So let's just pop it back a bit, and then we're good to go. So we'll keep driving along the edge of the water for a while. See no other way to go anyways. At the moment, at least. Then we'll come up to an area where we have a couple of choices. I swear this sand will always grab you if you just get a little bit off course. So you gotta be careful and really just stick to the center of this place so you don't have any issues like that. And actually to the left, we'll be able to see something cool. So there's the island we were driving on a second ago, the one that was real tiny. They have another island over there, which we can also get access to. It's a little difficult to exactly explain how to get there, so I'll just show you. And right here we got another bridge, and we're going to be nice and careful on this one, because I definitely don't need to fall off here. Excellent. Whoa, slow it down. Now this doesn't make sense. Why would you put the rocks in the middle of the road? We'll go around the rocks because this car is not going to do that. Like, there are much better things you can use this car for than going over rocks. Right here, I guess we'll go to the right for now. I don't really know which way to go for certain, but I think this is the right direction. Oh, again! With the dirt! The dirt, it plays dirty, doesn't it? Ha! Alright, we're going to need a different vehicle in a minute anyway, so let's just go and swap this out. Back to the Dune Island Sheriff. That was weird. I don't know if you saw that, but the color of the car after we swapped was just really strange. It was like really light blue instead of green. Anyways, here is this kind of swampish area, I guess you could call it, although there's no trees like a normal swamp, but you got thick mud and lots of water. And with this car, you just got to make sure you don't go too deep because you can hydro-lock your engine. And I gotta be careful, actually, because there are some sections where I've done that before. Looks like right here we're gonna have to just go fast through it and hope it doesn't hydro-lock as we go through. Couldn't make it. Like, trying to go to there. It didn't happen. And now we're stuck. But if you go through here, you could get to the island. It's a little tedious to do so, so I'm not gonna bother to do so. Instead, we'll go back to here. And we'll just keep driving along this road and make it back to near we started and the airstrip. So over here is the airstrip, and we're going to go straight at it so we can use that as a jump. That seems like a fun thing to do. Crash down onto there, and there's one car I haven't used yet, so we'll pull it out real quickly. It's the Dune Island Cruiser. So this one has a different skin than the rally one. This one's more police focused. It also has a different configuration as well. We'll drive the length of the airstrip with this, and then that will be all. So until next time, this has been WhyBeAre. I'll see ya.